Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're checking out a video titled Top 8 Culture Shocks when moving to Australia. This is coming from the That Justin Life YouTube channel, so a link will be in the description so you guys can go check out the original video as usual. And shout out to That Justin Life YouTube channel because they're going to tell. They're going to tell me/teach me things that are going to be culture shocks if I ever move to Australia. By the way, I really actually like Australia. The thing is, moving to a country or visiting a country is actually much harder than it may seem, especially one like Australia because it's so far away. But hopefully one day I can actually, if not live in Australia, visit Australia. It should be really cool, honestly, because I kind of like the way how Australia actually looks. It's a very different country. For example, driving style, you drive on a different side of the road and stare and everything. But I kind of like Australia in terms of the way how the country is, in terms of like how it looks and things that goes on there. It actually is quite similar to the United States, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, without further ado, man, let's check out this video. Please do like and subscribe. The link will be in the description if you guys want to recommend any videos for me to check out related to Australia. Also, music are very much welcome. New Zealand as well. You can recommend regarding New Zealand. And yeah, thank you for watching. Without further ado, man, let's check out this video.
Right, let's give this a go. So you've heard about the deadly animals, scorching sun, impossible isolation. What was the other one? And sausage and bread, and you're still thinking that you want to come to the land down under.
Never heard of
then
that.
Prepare yourself for these weird Australian culture shocks.
Okay.
G'day guys, my name's Ross, and I moved with my family to Australia during a global pandemic. Now I love living
COVID?
in Australia, but when we first moved over here, it was a little bit weird. Now to stop things being so weird for you when you make the move, these are our top 8 culture shocks when moving to Australia. Australians love their sport, but unless you're from Australia, sometimes the sport is a little bit strange. For example, football isn't football. And I'm not really talking about soccer, or am I? It really freaks me out to say the word soccer. For me,
Really?
I know what football is. And for Australians, they also know what football is. But when you move to Australia, just resign yourself to the fact that you're now probably going to follow the minority sport. And also need a special subscription just to be able to watch it. Football in Australia can mean many things. Football for me means soccer, but football in Queensland means rugby league. And if you come from one of the southern states like Victoria or South Australia, then football can mean AFL. And I still don't understand how that game works.
Wait,
but
what?
I want to.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, that part actually messes me up. AFL plus the rugby league? Like, wait, what? Wait, how did I not freak out when he said rugby was football? Wait, what? Isn't rugby like a sport in itself? I know the AFL is Australian Football League, which is understandably very similar to the United States American football. In terms of just a few things are different, in my humble opinion. It's not that different compared to like soccer. But rugby, football. I y'all let me know.
Learn. You can still have a beer at an AFL game, right? But if you come from the UK like me and you still want to watch your beloved football, then you're going to have to become a social hermit, bound to the wee hours of the night just to watch your darling Premier League. If you don't like it, then take up one of the other many forms of football. And if you're American, well, they also kind of play baseball and stuff too, but probably not your form of football. Be like too hot in all the pads and stuff. Or imagine getting a spider in your helmet. The second shock that we had coming from the antisocial rest of the world is the fact that in Australia, people are actually friendly to you. I mean, don't get me wrong, like people are friendly in other parts of the world, but Australians are kind of like this weird level of friendly. People greet you on the street. Neighbours come up to your house and welcome you to the neighbourhood. People actually offer you help. Now for me, being the antisocial hermit that I am watching my Premier League, people being friendly to me was a little bit weird and it just took a little bit of getting used to. But when it happens to you in Australia, it really does make you realise how nice the world can be. Now hey,
And that's exactly what I mean when I say Australia seems to be very similar to the United States, in my humble opinion. Out of a lot of countries, the number one country that I've always compared to the United States would be Canada, right? But If I was supposed to add another on the list, it would definitely be Australia. It's very similar in my humble opinion. Obviously, we speak English. Yeah. But Canada actually speaks French, a little bit as well. But at the end of the day, man, it's very similar, and I must say, Australians being friendly is a very good thing. Like, I'm not saying that we have to be overly friendly, but to have a warm face or a smile on your face when you see someone is actually a pretty cool thing, because we're all humans, right? And the fact that we're all humans simply means this: no matter how good or life is, there's always going to be that one bad thing that is affecting us, right? A bad day, a bad week, whatever. And just seeing someone give you a smile and just show you some sort of human recognition can actually do a lot for you, especially if you need help outside there on the streets or something like that. It really does a lot for a human, in my humble opinion. So I appreciate Australians doing that for sure.
You're going to think to yourself, people around the world are nice, and lots of them are. And you normally notice it when you're on holiday. Maybe it's the weather that makes people happier. Because I can tell you that the dreary darkness of winter kind of makes people the opposite. To be honest, this is one of the best culture shocks of Australia. Calling all social recluses out there. If you move to Australia, it's going to make you a better person. No one wants your social awkwardness or unfriendly banter. Australians are genuinely friendly, unless they don't like you. But there's no beating around the bush. I'll tell you straight. Now, coming from the northern hemisphere on the other side of the world, having a cold Christmas becomes a rite of passage. But here, cold Christmases? Welcome to the heat, my friend. Christmas in summer. It's hot. Really hot. If you don't have aircon, you're gonna struggle. It's not dark. You and your family aren't just confined to one room, watching each other open presents you probably didn't even want. Wishing that the TV was on so that you wouldn't have to make awkward conversation with family members who you hardly ever see apart from the festive time. Wondering to yourself, is it too early to start drinking yet? The fact is that with Christmas in Australia, you get to take all of the good bits of Christmas, like presents and spending time with family that you actually want to spend time with, and then add all the good things of summer, like going to the beach, spending time in the pool, having a barbecue in the sunshine. Don't hang on to your old traditions of Christmas, like your roast turkey with all of the trimmings. I mean, do hang on to them, but don't whinge that you're doing it in the heat. Have a barbecue instead. Savour the wonder that is a potato bake. Why did we not have these in England? Or if we did, I never had one. They're gorgeous. Make new traditions and embrace the fact that Christmas in summer is now your new life. Now, coming from cosmopolitan Europe,
I mean, I really do believe that that's how it's supposed to be. Like, if you move to a place, I think a lot of humans are so stuck and we don't really accept things. And I think that's one of the main reasons why life is so hard, because we're like stuck. You know what I mean? We're stuck in this, like, oh my gosh, it's raining, so I have to be depressed. Oh my gosh, it's snowing, so I have to be depressed. It's like, no, you don't have to. You don't have to care that much about that, right? And it's the same thing with culture. Like, you move to a different place, you shouldn't battle with the culture of that place. You should try to emulate whatever goes on and just figure it the hell out, because at the end of the day, you're here for a time, and just live, dog. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta just cool, bro. Just chill out, and just live a little bit. Makes life a lot better.
I was kind of used to this next one because people on the continent sometimes like to have a siesta, but at least they opened up the shops and stuff again. Now, I know that this can catch out the average Brit visiting Marbella for the first time and wondering why in the middle of the day all the shops are shut, but in Australia it goes to another extreme and shops just shut early. Want to get a coffee after 4 p.m? Yeah, nah. Don't be crazy. Why would you need that much caffeine in your system at night? It's going to go dark in a couple of hours. Want a takeaway after 9 p.m. on a Friday? Well, you better live in the city centre. Ain't no one going to work after 9 p.m. in the burbs. You crazy? Unless you're in the major cities, things in Australia are rarely 24 hours. People have a life. They don't want to sit there waiting in a restaurant or a shop for your convenience. Don't be so selfish. Why aren't things so convenient? Well, it turns out people don't actually want to work all the time, and you need to respect that. Get a bit more organised. Enjoy a night in. Realise that thing you think you need, you probably don't need right now. I'm sorry that the shops shut early, but if you don't have that thing you want right now, is the world going to end? Probably not. And if it was that important, you wouldn't have forgotten it, right? And this culture shock extends into the next one, and it's the work culture. And weirdly enough, most Australians don't like to work. I mean, they do. They do like to work. That's a massively sweeping statement. But fortunately for people who live here, we don't live to work. Working to live is an incredibly emancipating feeling. What's the point in going to work all day to earn money to then not have the time to spend it? I don't want to live a life like that, do you? Especially when you have all of this fantastic weather and beautiful scenery to spend it in. Except when it's a La Nina year. Like, the scenery's still there, but the weather's still a bit crap, and it has been for the last 2 years. Fortunately for most Australians, this laissez-faire attitude to work extends to lots of different industries. If you're sick of the daily grind in your job, then come to Australia and you can do the same thing but not work as hard. Wouldn't we all want to just do that? But sometimes this incredibly laid-back nature can lend itself to some slightly weird / potentially unsafe habits. Barefoot in public? That one takes a little bit of getting used to. Especially living up here in the sunshine state of Queensland, seeing people go barefoot in your local Coles.
How though? It's hot. So how? Woo! My baby feet would be just on flames, boy. I mean, I do not have baby feet, actually. I'm a size 11, so I don't have baby feet. But my baby feet would be on flames. Oh my gosh. Plus, I think I have such soft feet. Like, this is probably the only thing that would probably be so hard for me to adapt to in Australia, because I've literally worn, right now as I'm speaking, I have a sock on with my Crocs, right? And I'm at home, right? So I have probably like some very soft feet, you know. So I don't think it would be very possible for me to do that. Like, it would take like a very long time, because, like, you know, you have to develop that sort of or not develop, but you gotta, the sensory of your feet. Like, your feet is so sensitive. You have to do this quite a long time to actually remove, you know, that sensory feeling where everything, you just feel it. But yeah, my feet are very soft, so yeah, it would take me a while to get used to this. Would I do it? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe at home, yeah. In public, I don't know. I wouldn't have a problem with people doing it because it's freaking their feet, right? But I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't do it in public. Maybe not. I'd probably be scared I'm gonna step on a nail or something like that. Probably get HIV or something. Oh God, woo! Yeah, I don't think I would do it actually.
Can be pretty much a daily occurrence. Lots of people do it, especially children. It's like they've got an allergy to shoes or thongs. Just put some thongs on, mate. Protect yourself. Now, for us foreigners who are used to wearing shoes anyway just to keep our toes warm, seeing people go barefoot in public and it's not the beach or a swimming pool can be a little bit weird. But actually, rather than criticising or wondering if they've got asbestos in the soles of their feet, don't criticise. Join them. Everyone talks about that feeling where you can spread your toes in the sand and how liberating it can be. Well, just go barefoot in public, mate. You get that feeling all the time. Except when it's the middle of summer and you step on that black tarmac. Maybe put your thongs on there. Now, if you thought...
That's what I was talking about. Like, yo! I ain't trying to get fried up.
Going barefoot in public was rather informal or slightly offensive, then wait until the average Australian speaks to you. Don't get me wrong, most of them are educated, eloquent individuals, but the average Aussie does love a swear. They even do it on the radio. The first time I heard shit on the radio in the morning, I was wondering if my driving was okay or if someone was shouting at me in traffic.
I never knew that word was swearing. I'd be saying that too much time, boy. But hey,
it was the person on the radio. I've even heard them drop the odd wanker, which can be wholly confusing to some of the people watching this that don't even know what a wanker is. They can say wanker on the radio, yet I'm cursey enough to bleep wanker on my videos. What a beautiful country we live in.
Really?
Now don't get me wrong, they don't go for the hard...
I thought that was just like saying what's up, dude. Wait, no, that actually does not sound the same, actually. What's up, dude? What's up, you wanker? Nah, that's definitely not the same thing, actually. Scratch that.
Hardcore stuff like f*** or bugger. Wait, bugger isn't really that bad, is it? Oh, I've buggered this up. But most Australians will drop the C-bomb at you as a term of endearment. How's it going? I know that for lots of people when they watch Game of Thrones, dropping the C-bomb was a big taboo. And if you don't like that word, sorry, Australia might not be for you. Because in Australia, lots of people like to swear and everyone's so you better get used to it. I don't think I've ever used that many bleeps in a video before. I really hope I bleeped all of those out. Now the last one is something that's awesome, but also one of my little pet peeves. In Australia, they have some of the best containers for sauce in those little foldy things that just squeeze out perfectly. What's an invention? But in Australia, if you want the privilege of sauce, you have to pay for it. Want some tomato sauce, mate? Yeah, that could be 15 cents, please. Or 30 cents if you want two, because they're like really small packets. Now, don't get me wrong, not everywhere does charge for sauce. Thank the Lord. But lots of places do, and it's pretty common practice. If you're like my wife that just loves to slather everything in tomato ketchup, then not only calling it ketchup is going to be weird in Australia, because it's tomato sauce, as I've been told many times when I get that confusing look asking for ketchup. But like going to America and having to pay for something and then add on the sales tax, if you want sauce, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. But the good thing is we don't have to tip, because everyone gets a fair wage. And Medicare,
wow.
and gun laws. What a beautiful country Australia is. Now, if you're thinking of moving...
Okay.
Gets a fair wage. And Medicare, and gun laws. What a beautiful country Australia is. Now, if you're thinking of moving to Australia and you don't want to live in Melbourne or Sydney, and you think that, like us, Brisbane could be the place for you, then watch this video to wonder if Brisbane is really worth going to.
See you later. Y'all let me know if I should check it out, man. But shout out to Dude, man. Very funny video. You know, it's as simple as that. Like, I'm not going to be the guy who's going to hate on anybody else's culture. We're all humans. We're going to see things differently, like things differently. The one and only thing that I will always hate is force. I don't believe in force in anyone, right? I believe that every human should and must have the right to do whatever they choose. No matter how much you don't like that, you should understand that you are not the boss, or you are not, you know, responsible for that person. You cannot say die and they die. You cannot say awaken and they're raised from the dead, which means that you have no control over another human, right? Not even your own child, right? Yeah, you're supposed to guide your own child and so on and so forth, but you have to understand that there's a limit to this shit, okay? You are not some god, you know? So even if you disagree with someone, you just have to understand that, yo, that's just how I go. You know what I mean? And you just got to accept that as a human, that we're all humans and we're going to see things differently, do things differently. Like, everything in this video was very great. The only thing in this video that I think I would not do is, you know, barefooted, you know, in the store or in public. I don't think I would do it. Why? Because I got soft ass feet and I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to get HIV, you know, like I'm scared. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Yep, I'm scared. But outside of that, like, everything else was great. You know what I mean? And I don't have a problem if I saw an Australian that was like, yo, hold on, you ain't got no shoes on? You ain't scared of the sun? You ain't scared of no needles, no nothing? You do you, man. Say less, right? One of those. So, yeah, this was a beautiful video. So shout out to the Thorson. Hold on. Where's the damn video? Where did it go? The Johnston life. Yeah, that Johnston life. Shout out to him. Beautiful video. Link will be in the description so y'all can go check him out. And yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this and if you actually go outside barefooted, because that one was the most intense one for me in this video. So let me know what y'all do. And thank you for watching this video. I'm out of here. Peace.